Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. I'm with Oculus Rift Reviews. Today we're going to review and play Wrath of the Samurai VR, a game on the Steam store released today, July 10th, 2019, in early access for the Valve Index, HTC Vive, Oculus Rift, and Windows Mixed Reality. It normally retails for $19.99. I got a free Steam key through the Steam Curator Connect program to review this game. This is a hack and slash arena type game. From the video, you're going to see that it's not a very good game. I'm not even sure you need me to talk about it. You can just watch the video, and I'm sure you'll decide this is not really a good game at all. But since I'm here to review, let me go ahead and mention my observations on this game. It has two modes. There's a campaign and an arena mode. Difference between those two modes is that the arena mode is basically just a wave type game. So it's the same enemies and whatnot, the same type of combat, but instead of going around the arena and killing these enemies and bringing down these supply gates, you're just basically have enemies in a circle, and basically they just spawn out of nowhere and you just attack them, and when you kill them all, you get a few seconds before the next wave, and you just see how far you can go. So that's the arena mode. It's not very fun. The campaign mode basically just has that little script you see at the very beginning. You saw it at the start of my video. That's the story, something about they think you're a master and you're a samurai, or you're supposed to defend, I guess, or take revenge and kill and destroy the supply gates. I only found 4 supply gates, so I don't know if there's more to this game than my video shows. I looked all around the map. I only found 4 supply gates, and I destroyed them all. Some of them respawn even after you destroy them. So I did a whole loop around just to make sure that they were all destroyed, and they were. And I looked all around trying to find if there was a 5th one, and I couldn't find it. If you notice on the store page video, there's some footage of the pirate ship and it firing. I couldn't get that part to work. I couldn't get that to progress for me. When I destroyed the 4 supply gates, nothing happened, and then I looked around to see maybe I missed one. Maybe there's a 5th somewhere in the world environment, but there isn't. You basically go around the map and kill enemies, and they just endlessly respawn. And the supply gates themselves do sometimes go back. I guess they respawn just if enemies go there. So you have to make sure that they don't do that. But other than that, there's not much else to the game. In the video, you're going to see my gameplay where I go around and destroy the 4 supply gates, and then I cut out like maybe 20-30 minutes of the gameplay after that and just showed the very end where I died. Basically, I wanted to commit seppuku at that point because I was just really bored. Unfortunately, you cannot commit seppuku. I tried. You cannot. So you do have to die at the hands of the enemies if you can't progress, which I definitely couldn't, and I kind of didn't want to either because it's just boring. There's not much variety in the gameplay. It's all, you can just wiggle your sword. It doesn't really matter. There's not much strategy. It's pretty simple hack and slash. It's very basic. You have 3 weapons. You have the samurai sword. The best part about the samurai sword is that you do have to unsheath it. So you grab your sheath, then you grab your sword, your katana, and then you take it out. So that's the best part of this game. That does feel pretty good. But the actual melee combat is pretty bad. You just wiggle your sword around. There isn't any strategy. It's just more enemies. Sometimes I had severe frame rate drops during this game, which is very weird. Sometimes there were a lot of enemies on screen and the game would run fine. There were no issues. Other times, though, it would have a severe frame rate drop just randomly. So I couldn't figure out the game. Now, there is full locomotion, but there is no turning, so you're going to have to turn in real life. And the full locomotion, unfortunately, is head-based gaze, so you're going to move forward wherever you're looking at. And it seems like you're gliding on air versus actually walking around. Some of the enemy animations are pretty poor, and they'll look like they're gliding as well. Even though it's head gaze-based full locomotion, it was still pretty weird for me. It seemed a little janky to me. It didn't always seem to want to go where I wanted to. Sometimes I would just like randomly skip around for no reason that I could find. So I didn't like the full locomotion. There was lots of pathing, well, not lots of pathing issues, but there were some pathing issues as well. And there was lots of clipping, so you clip through items. The physics for the melee doesn't feel really good. Like I said, you have the samurai sword, that's your main weapon. You also have a bow and arrow and a shuriken. The bow and arrow is very bad. It's substandard. It doesn't feel very good. You just spawn it with your left trigger, and then you press the grab on your right hand. But the bow mechanic just doesn't feel realistic. It doesn't have a good feel either as far as an arcade type bow and arrow. So as far as bow and arrow mechanics, it's one of the I'm not gonna say it's the worst, but it's definitely subpar. The shuriken, on the other hand, is point and click. So you just point your shuriken where you want it to land, and you just click, and it'll go there. That really is pretty bad. I played other games with shuriken where you actually have to throw it, and there's a nice physics to the throw mechanic, and some nice models for the shuriken themselves. Here, the bow and arrow has a poor 3D model as well as the shuriken, and the shuriken is just one of the worst in VR. Really, it really is that bad. I fell through the world a few times. Well, not through the world, but I fell, from the top of the stairs downstairs just randomly, and sometimes randomly I would just jump up also. So there's definitely some issues in the game world, either falling down for no reason or jumping up for no reason. Although you don't fall through the world, so that's nice. At least you don't have that error. I didn't have any crashes or anything like that. I did have problems with the main menu picking the arena mode. I don't know why. But all in all, I was pretty bored. I was glad to stop playing this game. I played for about an hour. That's about all I can take. So I don't recommend it. I give it a 4 out of 10.